Everybody, hello and welcome. As always, I'm Sean. This is In the Mixer, episode number 17. No, I've messed it up again that time, but that's fine. I'm getting run out of fingers, all right? We need to get back to simple numbers. That was the easiest way to do it. But another very exciting episode because we are start of a new season and we are going to kick off this season with some Champions League group stage games. It's our first appearance in the Champions League in China. Yes, we had a couple of runs as minnows in the divisions or in the group stages when we were in Singapore, but this time we're actually kind of pushing on and in the Champions League as part of one of the bigger nations within the Asian region. And so I'm hopeful we can have a very competitive run and maybe get off to a really good start in the Champions League today. So we've got a bunch of stuff that I want to cover off with you guys, including off-season transfers, preseason results, all that sort of fantastic stuff. So let's jump straight in and see how we've gotten on. All right, so first and foremost, you guys should be aware we are well into our preseason program. We're about halfway through it. We have already had our Champions League East playoff win against Hachioji Tigre, who are a team out of Japan. We are going to play our first Champions League group stage game against Yangon today, who, from what I can tell, are from Myanmar. They've got a sick logo, pretty decent looking teal kit. I would be very surprised, given that their average wage is 1,960 yuan, that we don't absolutely wallop them, but you know, it's our first game in this level of football. They potentially may have been there before, so we don't really know what the game's going to hold for us and how it's going to play out. Interesting that Myanmar has a professional team. I think that's kind of interesting. Other teams drawn in our group, Okayama FC, who I think will be the big ones. They are Kashima Antlers in real life, I think is the name of the club. Of course, being Football Manager, these are all regen players. They're not real players, but that doesn't mean that the J-League teams aren't very, very strong in the Asian Champions League each season. I'd expect them to be the main ones that we're competing with to try and get out of the group. And then Johor Darul Tazim or Johor DT, who we've come up against before. If you think back to the early seasons in Malaysia, when the save was just getting started, when we were in the second division, when we were with Hugang, Johor were the big team. They were the richest team. They had the best players. They beat us a couple of times. Of course, we're a different prospect now, being in China and having some big name players or some international players, all that sort of stuff that we didn't have back then. But it'll be very interesting, I think, as well to see how we stack up against them now, 6-7 years down the track from when we last played them. So there's going to be some big games. We're probably not going to show you all the games in the group stages, but what I am thinking, and we'll come back to this at the end of the episode, is I might show you guys the start of the group stages and then potentially maybe the last game or two in the group stages. We might play that game against Johor DT in the next episode to bring you a little bit more of our journey this season so you can get a bit more up-to-date information as to how the season is tracking and going. Otherwise, everything for the Chinese Super League is going pretty well so far. We are still in the division despite finishing top 3 last season. They still expect us to be the worst team in the league and to go down in 16th spots. 701 odds to win the league despite back-to-back 3rd and 4th place finishes and Champions League qualification, which to me is absolutely crazy. Still no one from our club in the Media Dream 11 as well, despite them winning individual awards last season in terms of young players of the season, leading goal scorers, all that sort of stuff. We've got players in and around those conversations, but we just can't seem to get anyone in the Media Dream 11. I think it's our player reputation or our club reputation is not high enough. The interesting jump is that Beijing have fallen off quite a bit based on their forecast for the season. They have, I think, pretty much every season we've been in the division have been expected to win the league. Guangzhou and Shandong are the two preeminent favourites at the moment. Then a big gap now to third spot where Henan is at $13. And some pretty long gaps down from 9th and then again from 13th or 14th. We will not get relegated. I'm confident we will not get relegated based on what we've learned from the last few seasons, but for whatever reason, the media still feels that way. Our squad has not changed all that much. I will be completely honest with you guys. We have brought in a couple of new faces. We have let a couple of people go. Usually each off-season, what I'll try and do is I'll try and sell off a few players to try and raise some cash to get us back into a positive bank balance. The real challenge that I've had this season is that even when I was offering players out, clubs weren't coming in and willing to pay that money for them. And I didn't want to just be getting rid of players for free just to get them off the books. I wanted to try and make a profit and then sign, young players available on the free transfer market. Hot tip. If you're doing a lower league save or a save at a club where you've got no money, just keep an eye on each season, the players whose contracts are up at the end of a season. So now I've just got Chinese nationality players whose contract status is expiring, and I'm slowly 1 month at a time just getting scout reports on them so we can see whose contract's up at the end of the season that we might want to bring in that might bring our overall squad depth up or might challenge for a starting position or might improve a position that a player hasn't quite hit their potential in. So I have this kind of running list. A lot of these scout reports you guys are seeing would be 12 months old, maybe even 18 months old based on when we got the scouting done. But it's a good way to try and scoop up talent for free at their end of contract or once they've been released. And if you can then sell them on for a profit, even if it's just like 5 million yuan or whatever a currency you happen to be in, you are making a profit on that sale. You've just lost their wages. That's effectively all you've done. This past offseason, there weren't really that many good players that actually had their contracts up. This isn't the list. This is the guys for the end of this season. But last year, yeah, we didn't really get the opportunity to bring too many players in, which is why it's been one of our quieter transfer windows. So if we look at our transfer history, 2 out, 2 in, very straightforward. There were a couple of players that we brought in towards the end of last season. Basically, that just means that they signed pre-contract agreements and then joined us on the first day of the transfer window. Or alternatively, they came once they were free agents and we signed them permanently. So there are a couple extra ones here. Wang Xiaobo is the first I'll show you guys. 19-year-old. He's just supposed to be a squad player. Last year, we only had 21 in the squad. This year, I'm going to try and get us back to 22. And I'm going to try and pick up players like this guy because even if it doesn't work out for us this year, already at 16 million yuan value, I think I can get like 5 back for him. So I'm kind of already thinking ahead to eventually selling him on. But only on 5k a week, very low risk for us. If it doesn't work out, we'll happily move him on. Comes across from Shandong, who have been excellent in the divisions the last few seasons, where he did make first team appearances before leaving at the end of last year. I wouldn't expect to see too much of him, but good to pick him up on free. Chen Tianhao has joined us to be our new backup goalkeeper. More on that in a moment. 2.5-star current ability, 4-star potential. He was showing on our original scouting report as being close to like 5-star, but he has arrived and isn't quite as strong or as ready as I think. Was at Meiju and Henan for the last few seasons where he made quite a few different appearances as well, despite only being 19. So he must have a pretty decent current ability. He'll come in as a backup goalkeeper for us because we needed to improve on that position. And then another Brazilian has joined the ranks. More on the departures in a moment, but 18-year-old Da Silva, 4-star current ability, 5-star potential. He joins from Flamengo. Excellent technical attributes already for everything that we want him to do. Is that Mazzala on support? Mental attributes are great as well. Physical attributes pretty decent also. The reason we've brought him across is because we have lost one player in particular who isn't showing up as a player out at the moment because his transfer doesn't go through for another couple of weeks. But Vasil, who we of course picked up a few years ago from Gremio, 20-year-old, still a great player and was excellent for us as well, to be completely fair, but just wasn't quite developing to that Mazzala role. And to be honest, I don't think, given that he's now 20 and turns 21 in a couple of months, I don't think he's going to hit that 5-star current ability that we really need from our international players from our visa spots. So once a bid came in for him of 20 million from Chapecoense over in Brazil, I thought, yep, cool, we'll take that. 20 million, we could use that cash. It is less than his value, but that's fine. Like, I'm not worried about that. We signed him on a free transfer. We paid his wages. I'm pretty sure 20 million still represents a profit out of that, and we desperately need to improve our financial situation. So him heading out the door, thanks for his service, all that sort of stuff. But I think we have brought in a player who's 2 years younger, who's maybe got a little bit more ability at the moment at that younger age and has a really, really high ceiling that I think we can sell on for profit at a later date. Only on 60k a week as well, so he's not breaking the bank for us. He does have a release clause if European clubs come in of 120 million. I'm fine with that. If we can get 120 million for him, fantastic. We paid absolutely nothing for him, so that would represent, I think, good business. We had a few extra bodies leave towards the end of last season. We finished up the year making 37 million in transfer fees in, so an additional like 15 that we kind of added there at the end of the season. Another 2 went out. Song Hu, who you never saw, he was a junior player for 2 million, and Jia Da Long for 2 million earlier on. I am still open to selling some more players. More about that when we go through the squad in a moment. But another 4 million already raised this year. It is a lot down, but you've got to remember some of these are kind of like, we're in the off season for a lot of them. It just has the year ticked over to bring us the more up-to-date information. The other one's joining Ding Dao Wen, who's going to be our new deep-lying playmaker / ball-winning midfielder at the base of midfield. He's got relatively straightforward attributes. Can do everything we need from a ball-winning midfielder. He's been at Zhejiang Qingdao, who gave us a whole bunch of grief throughout the last couple of seasons. Good mental attributes, good physical attributes. I would have loved to have got someone with higher potential or with higher current ability, but he was the best on the market, and we needed to improve that ball-winning midfielder position a little bit. 26, very little risk, 60k a week, no, not a bad work either. And on a free transfer, he's already worth 26 million, so we will probably make money on him if we do eventually decide to get rid of him as well. The other one is Zheng Peng, who joins us on a free transfer from Guangzhou City. He's with Shanghai Port previously. He's been at a couple of different clubs. At 23 years of age, he looks all right. Can play as a midfield anchor if we ever want to make that adjustment to that shape and style. But I'm going to use him as a ball-playing defender at the back here. On cover, Good first touch. Heading ability is not great, but his marking, passing, tackling are all good. Technique's not terrible for a centre back. Mentally, very, very good and well suited to the role, and physically fairly decent as well. At 23, also very low risk, 60k a week is his wages and £18 million value already. We will get a profit out of him if things don't work out the way that we quite want to. But otherwise, it is a relatively familiar squad. You should recognise most of the names here. Our tactic remains the same. We are still with the 4-2-3-1, the kind of gegenpressing style. We've been trying to use more of this possession-based platform in our preseason because we have been playing, if you look at the clubs, a lot of different teams from Europe. So mostly Spanish sides, a few sides from the likes of Denmark and England and Greece as well, just to try and get some additional revenue in. So like higher profile teams to come and play in our new stadium. Hopefully we make a bit of cash with that. And in turn, improve our financial situation, which is careering out of control. Usually this time of the season, we are back in profit, despite the fact that I've sold off players for, 4 million plus 20 million for Vasil, plus about 15 million in the end of last off season. We're at about 40 million raised, or 39, I think, technically. But even then, we are still like just flying into debt. You can see where this kind of plateaus out. That's mostly where that revenue's come back in, unless the Vasil money comes in late and we spike back up. But yeah, like we're at 76 million debt already, and I'm 867,000 a week over wage budget. I don't think I need to sign too many more players. I think that portion's done. We might even get rid of this sell-on clause just to try and get ourselves some additional cash. All right, so we're now at 853 negative wage budget per week. It's just tough. I have got a couple extra players as well in the under 23s that we might try and get rid of. Zhuang Jin, I would love to get rid of. A couple of clubs have come in and he's rejected the contracts. So I'm just offering him out on a free transfer. And I think even if someone comes back and says, hey, can you pay X amount of his wages, we'd take that to get this 60k a week off the books. He hasn't quite hit the same levels that he did when he got us promoted out of the second division a few seasons ago. But otherwise, the overall depth I'm relatively happy with. I think that was the big thing that we wanted to focus on this season. If we take Howe out and put De Silva back in, you can see we've got like 5 players in the starting 11 at 4-star current ability, a couple of 3.5s in there now, a few 3s, 2.5s is the lowest that we've got. Really, that overall depth is starting to improve. We don't have any like 2-star current ability players playing in our starting 11 each and every week, which I think is going to help us long term as well. If you're not familiar with the Champions League registration as well and why De Silva wasn't in the starting lineup, then you can only have 3 international players, and then the 4th spot is for like an Asian international player. So that might be something we look at in the future, but for now, I kind of want to keep the 4 Brazilians together. I think they're all pretty well ingrained in the club at this point, but maybe like if a good player from Korea or Australia comes up, we might look to try and bring them back in and replace one of the older heads like Marais, like Yanardis, like Souza, who are starting to get to like 27, 28 years of age. But more than enough from me. Let's get stuck into this first game in the Champions League season. And even though we're away from home, I am going to go with our attacking instruction. I want to get pretty aggressive. I want to lay down a marker and I want to score as many goals as humanly possible in this first game of the season. It will be Yu Min-kin in goal. He's been excellent for us the last few seasons. I think he should be a Chinese international at this point. He hasn't been called up yet, but he 100%, I think, is one of the best in the division. Zheng Peng, who we brought in this offseason, will play alongside Zhu Qi, who was our most prolific defender last season. Marais at left wing-back, Ren Qingqi at right wing-back. Ding Daowen comes in as the ball wing midfielder alongside Ku Hao, who will fill in for De Silva because he's not registered for this competition. Wang An will play as the advanced playmaker. He was excellent last season with our leading assists. Souza on the left wing is the inside forward. Yanardis on the right wing is the inverted winger, who I've moved to attack for this season. We will see how that plays out. And then Zhao Qilong leading the line up top. He's got Lu Jun breathing down his neck this season, 21 years of age, still decent, still quite good. Physically, I think is the only thing that I'm kind of like splitting them by at the moment. But Lu Jun has been very good and has scored some big goals in preseason as well. Qilong hasn't been bad, or Qilong, I guess that is. But physically, he's just a little bit more gifted, better pace, better stamina, good acceleration stuff. That's why I'm kind of giving him the nod at the moment. But good that we've got 2 strikers who are both pushing for starting first team opportunities. And ignore these kit numbers that we're doing, because these will not be the kit numbers come the regular season once we submit our Chinese Super League squad numbers. And looking at the 2 squads now, Yangon playing a flat 4-4-2, which works well for us. We get good space in behind those fullbacks if we can try and get Yanardis and Souza on the ball early in transition. And we will keep an eye as well on the other game where Okayama will play Johor, just to see how those 2 shape up against each other. I'd expect Okayama to win. First highlight though, Souza with a ball to the near post, And Zhu Qi, can you believe it? Our central defender has gotten our first goal in the Champions League, the first ever Champions League goal for Shenyang as well. And he's very fortunate. I'm pretty sure Kang, the goalkeeper, has just pushed it into him. And it crosses the line for a very early go-ahead goal. Unitas again with a corner here. Back stick, Xiao Qilong, that time has gotten the goal. We spoke about him in the build-up and potentially not starting this match, but he's come flying out of the blocks here. And inside 7 minutes, we're already 2-0 up, both from set-piece scenarios. And again, keeper gets a big hand on it, but can only push it in the side netting. This could be a bloodbath here. We could be on for 10. It's continued here from their kickoff as well, and we've given possession pretty much straight back, which is great. Unitas now to Hao. Switch out to Souza, 1v1 on the left-hand side. Cut back to Qilong, who's gone down in the box. We might be about to get a penalty, which we've gotten. Zhu Qi is going to take it, or Zhu Qi, and he's hit the inside of the post. I don't know why our central defender just took that penalty. We've got some okay penalty takers, but whatever, that's fine. If he wants to get a hat-trick, that's okay. Right, and chances have dried up just a little bit, but we are pinballing one around there, and Souza just drives a shot beyond the far post, or beyond the near post, sorry. But we remain 2-0 with about 30 minutes played. I'm just going to hit demand more. Let's see if we can't turn the screws a little bit here and go in halftime with a big goal buffer. Good ball across, and then Chin Qi with a lovely finish. Hao, who wouldn't have been in this squad if De Silva was registered and is unlikely to play most of the time when he's fully fit, just with a lovely ball here at the edge of the area, gets it across. Chin Yi with a great touch, gets it out from underneath him, and then again rifles it, not quite towards the near corner or the top corner, but Kane can only push it into the roof of the net, and we are 3 goals up, heading pretty close into the halftime break. Johor and Okayama are still drawing in their game. And as halftime is called, we are 3-0 up and cruising quite comfortably. Dressing room, I'm just going to give everyone a bit of praise, and then we're going to tell them to start the second half. Deep corner here. Oh, sorry, not deep corner. Deep free kick there. First real highlight we've seen with Yangon in possession, but they're giving it straight back to us here on halfway. And if Souza can get this ball back stick, Unitas is wide open. He finds him now. It's an excellent ball and a wonderful finish. The two Brazilians combining on either wing. And at 4-0 up, we are cruising quite comfortably. And we might have a look in a couple of minutes based on condition. Just trying to keep everybody fit for the start of the season. We don't want to overcommit or overexert ourselves too early. Lovely finish there, back post. Kane could do nothing about that one. It is an excellent and clinical counter-attack. Long ball forward here. Moraes should be able to bring it down on his own. Good ball up the line to Souza, who immediately turns his man inside. Switch out to Unitas again. Can he find the cutback? He's brought down in the box. No penalty. But now we're going to see Yangon come the other way. O or U. Just 2 O's. I don't know. What do you guys think? O or U? We'll go with U. U in the middle there gives the ball back to us, which is great. Moraes is going to come forward now. Hao. Now to Ang. Good ball out to Moraes. Wide left area. Lovely little passing play here at the edge of the area. And Souza with the eventual strike. If you had got that on target, I think we would have got our 5th, but just beyond the near post. So with the ball back in from the corner, they're going to get another chance at it too. We're clearing it away pretty convincingly so far. Ball over the top finds Mo. Mo to So. And a good save from Minku, and I think it would have been ruled out for offside anyway. Another highlight here again. Moraes starts it from the throw and gets the ball back. Qilong, lovely reverse pass to Souza. He's got bodies getting into the middle. It pinballs around, and Wang An eventually with the shot, edge of the area, just over the crossbar. But we are at the hour mark, so we're going to hit pause. And then we'll have a look at this highlight. I'll do the subs first. We're just going to go on condition because I've got nothing really to worry about as far as the performance is concerned. So Zhu Qi I'll leave out there. Wang An will take him off for Zheng Jun. Souza will come off for Chia Ru, and Hao might come off for Jiang Wei in midfield, just to try and keep everybody as fit as humanly possible as we get into the start of the Super League season. Long ball forward here, Unitas with the flick on to Ang. Good reverse pass there from Hao. Finds Qilong again, tries to round the keeper, but Kang, good save, made himself big, came out and claimed it. Has given it straight back to us though on the clearance. Wang An to Chin Qi. Long ball forward. Dao Wen, wide left area. Just stand him up, boys. And Min Kun with a good save. Does it bring the highlight to an end? It does indeed. So first real highlight that we've seen for Yangon. 70th minute now. Zheng Jun with the 1-2 from the throw-in with Qing Yi. Across to Xiaoru. Qilong tries to one from distance. I think it clipped the crossbar, or it was a great save from Kang. Qing Yi, back to him again from the throw-in. Zheng Jun, backstick ball. Pinballs around again. They do manage to scramble it away. Credit to them, they are continuing to leave 2 men up top, and one of them's gotten goal side here. Ko with the finish. All right, so randomly, and I think kind of not against the run of play, I guess, maybe, but from the highlights we've seen, definitely. Good little reverse pass, and yeah, they kind of turn us over there a little bit. You think Zhang Peng would be dropping off quite a bit. You think the two central or wide defenders would have come across to the ball a little bit quicker rather than just running to nothing, but good finish. Credit to them. They've managed to drag one back. And we don't know, like, it could be that goal difference is a huge part of this group if Okayama and Johor are going to belt them as well. So I'm going to throw a demand more shout in. 10 minutes remaining. Can we try and restore that 4-goal buffer? Keelong to Jiang Wei. Now to Ching Yi. Good little interplay here at the edge of the area. Cut back to Zheng Juan. Cut back to the edge of the area. Jiang Wei with the eventual strike just beyond the far post. And the keeper was scrambling. Had 20 shots, only 8 on target. Not the best retention rate. 3.44 XG for our 4 goals scored. And we are into 3 additional minutes of extra time now. Okayama have just taken a lead against Johor, which we will keep an eye on. But 4-1 victors in the end. I feel like it could have maybe been more given how strong we started, but I'm just going to say I'm very pleased. We are still in preseason. Our best performances are still to come. So Sousa gets the Man of the Match award, and we do go to the top of our group, which is fantastic to see. That could change as games come through. We will come back, I think, and give you guys the last group stage game to see what our potential scenario is going into that. Sousa gets 2 assists, so we're going to give him a bit of praise, and thankfully he responds positively. Otherwise, though, things are looking pretty good. We can get De Silva back in for the rest of our preseason fixtures. We might even make that adjustment back to our possession-based style for some of the games that we've got coming up against some of these European teams. I'm really trying to develop a tactic that will work for like away days in the Champions League where we're away in Japan in a knockout tie or something like that. We want to play a little bit deeper, play a little bit less aggressive, try and keep the ball a little bit more. And to be honest, I wouldn't expect really anything more as far as transfers are concerned. If we can try and get rid of Zhang Jin, that would be fantastic. But I don't think we're going to have any more players come in. We've got a full squad of 22, and I think that works for us at the moment. So another season starts. It starts pretty strongly as well. A good convincing victory in our first appearance in the Champions League, which is great to see. Get that monkey off our back as far as the first win is concerned. But there are bigger games to come against the likes of Okayama, the likes of Johor. We will jump back and bring you guys the end of the group stage in the next episode. So please make sure you check back later this week to check that one out. I think this episode comes out on Wednesday, maybe on Friday, if I can get through the game. And I do want to play the game a little bit to that last match. And we'll try and get you guys a bit of a conclusion to our Champions League group stage journey before the end of the week. But more than anything, I just appreciate you guys watching along with me. That's always the part that means the most to me. If you do want to support the channel, help celebrate our first appearance with Shenyang in the Champions League, do drop a like on this video. Of course, subscribe to the channel to be kept up to date on this video and all of our future videos. But as always, I've been Sean, and I'll see you all again in the mixer.